Jim Jenkins, you're up.
Item A is a resolution to adopt the 2018, basically 2018 editions of the International Building, Residential, Mechanical, Plumbing, Gas, Energy Conservation, Existing Building Codes, and the ICC A117-1.1-2017 codes for Loudon County. This resolution will basically replace the current edition, which is the 2012 editions.
Comments? Put it on the June 5th voting meeting?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next.
B is a resolution amending the zoning map of Loudon County, Tennessee pursuant to Chapter 7, 13-7-105 Tennessee Code annotated rezone from A2 Rural Residential District to C2 General Commercial District, Loudon County Tax Map 019, parcel 088-00, located at 9545 Hotchkiss Valley Road, Loudon County, Tennessee, situated in the 5th Legislative District.
Mr. Chairman, that's deep in the heart of the 5th District, and the Planning Commission heard it last week, and it was denied unanimously by the Planning Commission, and I speaking for myself, I can assure you I will agree with the Planning Commission on the denial of that rezone when it comes up.
Okay.
And also, as the chair of the Loudon County Airport Authority, it's an airport. Currently.
Okay.
Just so people know.
Currently.
Currently.
It'll be on June 5th.
Thank you. C is a resolution amending the zone map of Loudon County, Tennessee pursuant to Chapter 7, 13-7-105 Tennessee Code annotated rezone from M1 General Industrial District to A1 Agricultural Forestry District, Loudon County Tax Map 032, parcel 112.00, located at Corporate Park Drive, Loudon County, Tennessee, situated in the 1st Legislative District.
Comments?
This was heard by both the city and county's planning commission, both made recommendation for rezone.
I've not had anyone contact me opposed to it, so be my recommendation.
Okay, that'll be on June 5th. Van, you got one more for Jim?
Well, I'm gonna go ahead, I've got a part down at number 6, and this is coming, I brought it forward just at a conversation with the board members and Mr. Jenkins at the last planning commission, and this is about partial plat approvals versus plat approvals, and Jim can, he can put the teeth on that one.
Yes, there's been some discussion as far as preliminary plats. Basically, you have preliminary plat approvals. They go through, they show, we're doing 100 lots, we'll say. But what's occurring on some of these subdivisions, when they come forward to final plat approval, they are phasing it. So out of a 100 lot subdivision, they want to do 30 lots. So you have the rest of that subdivision. Some of it they may have started development on. There's no clarity on when that will be finished and things. So I know some discussion has been mentioned, and if you want to phase a subdivision, that would be fine, but they want that phasing to be shown on the plan. Therefore, if you want to do a 100 lot subdivision, but you want to do it in phases, you'll show your phases. Then whatever you apply for final plat approval has to be complete. So if you want to do both phases, go ahead, but you'll have to have both phases be completed prior to submittal for a final plat approval.
So once you break dirt on phase 2, you're going to finish phase 2.
Yes.
There's no, cause this is farmstead up in my district where North Shore dead ends into Bill's Chapel. They've hit a ton of problems with T-deck, with rock, there's all kinds of issues, and they're trying to get the first half of the neighborhood being built out while they finish the back half, but it's been a mess to try and figure out because the stormwater doesn't quite run right because the back half isn't done, all the retention ponds aren't done. It's a mess, a big mess.
And there could be some utility issues,
Yeah.
possibly for connection, for what I understand. So the verbiage is vague. A preliminary plat is good for 1 year. They can come in and extend those preliminary plats, but when you get to final plat approval, it breaks it almost down to where they could choose to only do so much. The verbiage that I think we would take to the planning commission would be clear that phasing, if it's gonna be done, should be shown at the time of preliminary, that way whatever is in place is in place.
And they can't sell lots until they get a final plat approval.
That is correct.
So to be a little less diplomatic about what's happening, sometimes, let's be clear, both these right now, neither one of these are being dealt with by the county that we've recently had. One is in the city, but in my district. The other one is in the city's UGB, but in Adams district. And so they get so far into the project and all of a sudden we really need some money. So we need to get this first 30 lots where we can start selling lots and generate some money. The danger is they may never finish the other phase. I mean, once they've got that plat approval for the first phase, they sell those out, then somebody gets hung up with a mess over here on the inside of our subdivision, they're hollering at us and that sort of stuff. So what language, how do we need to do this in a language for a vote to send to you all? Just put us something together how you need to
To
be.
be honest with you, it's something that probably should just work on the language in the zoning resolution and be taken to the planning commission for a workshop.
Do you need us to vote on it in June to send it to you?
No, sir, I'll just do it
Okay,
Okay,
through the planning commission and we'll bring it up to you for recommendation.
that sounds good to me.
okay.
Thank y'all, have a good evening.
Thank you.
Jim, thank you. Next up is comments by the general public, but nobody signed the sheet, so we'll move on to Mayor Buddy Bradshaw. And his item is Solid Waste Commission appointment. You may or may not know, we agreed when the commissioners went on that it would be temporary. I've been asked by several of the public residents, why am I still on it? So I will be stepping down this month, and the recommendation for the appointment from District 7 will be Gary Bush. Gary's sitting there with his blue shirt on, anxious to take over.
What a sucker.
Congratulations, Henry.
Well, they criticized the heck out of me. Well, you're only supposed to be temporary. Okay,
Well, define temporary.
well.
Yeah, his chapter
found that
was
out.
temporary, 4 years.
That's it.
2 months ago.
Anyway, that will be on the June 5th commission meeting for a vote. Commissioner Whitfield, you're up next.
Mine is a resolution and an interlocal agreement for the paving of Fort Creek Road. Got County Attorney Bob Bowman to draw that up for us. Everything looks really good. We presented that to Philadelphia. They signed off on it. To pave 7/10 of that mile of that road, it's $120,000. So
For how much? 7/10 of a mile?
7/10 of a mile, 120,000. That'll be coming out of our ARPA funds. Went through budget committee today. We approved it through budget committee, and I'll be bringing that to you for your approval.
Now, Commissioner Whitfield, does it go anywhere nearby the Gary Whitfield Memorial Community Building, or is that in the same area?
Nowhere near.
Nowhere near that?
No, sir.
Okay, just clarifying that.
Yeah, nowhere near.
Okay.
There will be a marathon run on that road.
On that road
later.
Just back and forth and back and
And
forth.
a few bikes, and a few
A
bikes.
few bicycles, yeah,
Freshly paved, you know.
That's 7/10 of a mile, doing laps, is what you're
Yeah,
saying?
Yeah,
yeah. Shut the whole thing down
that's right.
Okay.
from here to Loudon.
Yes, sir.
Well, I hear Van's the odds-on favorite to win local this summer.
Yeah, yeah, that's happening.
Moving right along.
Okay, that'll be on the vote for June 5th, and it'll also be under Aaron Rice's section for a vote for the funds. Matt Kleinschmidt.
Good evening. The Salary and Benefits Committee met and voted to approve a 5% medical insurance increase for the fiscal year 2023 to 2024. And the vision and dental will remain no increase. So I ask for your consideration. Mr. Wampler's here for any questions you might have.
Chris, you happy with it? You good with it? You happy with it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Personally, I think it's amazing in this day and age. 5%.
You look at, 4 years ago, we went down 7%. Last year, we were at 0. This year, we're at 5, so we're we're hanging in there pretty good.
Still two to the good.
Still really good, yeah.
Thank you. That will be on June 5th for a vote. Okay, thank you, Matt. Aaron, you're up next.
All right. Okay, so these are the things that Budget Committee did today during their meeting. There was consideration for approval for additional funding at the county office building for the election ag addition, in the amount of $81,000. It will be paid from Del Conca, and then it will come from capital projects. And then there was a consideration of recommendation for the 4th District ARPA funds for the Fort Creek Road for $120,000. There was a consideration of recommendation regarding 7th District ARPA funds, $100,000 to Our Place Adult Daycare Center, $25,000 to Timeless Teleco Foundation. There was a consideration of recommendation to approve the distribution of ARPA funds that you approved the last time, which is $20,000 to the Sheriff's Benevolent Fund, $10,000 for Mr. Whitfield, and $10,000 for Mr. Cohen. This is just a follow-up, just to disperse the funds. There was a consideration of recommendation to approve an increase to the DGA grant for $5,800 for travel. It's just an amendment, there's no matching funds. There was a consideration of recommendation to approve an application for the Sheriff's Department for the FY 2024 for ELC grant.
And we really didn't ever know what that is. You'll find out though, won't you?
Well, I mean, he has sent,
I don't want you to have to dig it all out there right now.
well, if you wanna know, then I want you to know.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have, I'm sorry.
From now on.
None of them have.
I'll find out Wednesday, I'll find out Wednesday.
Really.
Mhm.
This is a health grant that's directly related to COVID-19 pandemic, in confinement facilities. That's what the grant is. He doesn't tell me how much because he's just requesting the approval to apply for the grant. But evidently the total, award for the state is $18 million. So. The next thing was a consideration of recommendation to accept the FY 2024 Tennessee Highway Safety Office grant for the Sheriff's Department at $30,000 with no matching funds. There was a consideration of recommendation to accept Emergency Management Performance Grant at $39,747 with no matching funds. And then I get into amendments. In County General Fund, there was multiple line adjustments just to adjust for over expenditures or under expenditures within the current year. Also to adjust for the insurance budgets, which overall was a decrease of $301,000. There was an increase of $24,823 because there is an extra 8 hours in this fiscal year, so certain hourly people, you know, they're paid by the hour, so there's an extra 8 hours.
It's a time for a question. Go ahead.
Do you have a question?
I thought Chase looked confused about how there's extra 8 hours.
No, I have no question.
That got talked about a lot in budget, how this year has an extra 8 hours, but
Oh my gosh, that happens constantly. That really does happen constantly. Anyways,
just keep adding hours.
there was a increase to the legal fees for the current year. Right now it's over budget, but now we're also gonna add an increase to, pay Mr. Baisley. And that was about $50,000. There was an increase to the current year budget to adjust for the EDA, contribution.
Is that supposed to come out of ARPA?
Which one?
That 50?
50 what?
That 50 for Kyle?
It may be. It's not, no, that's not even his. We've not even got a bill from him. We don't know what we owe him.
Wait a minute, you said we.
I got it. We, hey, me and Joe. That's we right here. While there's a break, while there's a lull.
Why is there a lull? Why are we not finishing and moving
Well,
on?
because they're up there making faces and fun. I've got to bring up, rather tonight than on the night we vote, one of the things she kind of skipped through right there was $7,900 for EDA?
$7,300.
$7,300 for the EDA.
I didn't skip through though.
No, I didn't mean you skipped through it.
Said it fast.
Anybody knows what I think about the EDA, but I want to explain what this one is. Last year, the current year we're in, when they submitted their budget request last year, they asked for a $15,000 increase for salaries. We said no originally, the budget committee did. Ultimately, the budget committee relented and gave them half of it. Half of it, so it was 72 something, I guess. So here we are at the end of the year. Now they want the other half of what we denied giving them in this year's current budget. I'm still a no. I think Commissioner Satterfield was a no. There is threats that we can lose grant funding and things like that on it. But it doesn't even matter to me. I'm so unhappy with that organization right now. That's what that extra $7,300, that's not for anything new. This is to pay them for this year. So, just as FYI, because there's gonna be more discussion about EDA in the coming meetings.
Moving right along.
It's a big deal.
But there is an issue of losing grants. So,
Has it ever happened in the state of Tennessee
well,
before?
the opinion from the Attorney General and the opinion from Bob Bowman is that we would lose all of our state grants. And right now, we receive about $600,000 to $650,000 in state grants.
I'd cash them in tomorrow to get rid of that outfit across the river over there.
For $7,000, I wasn't taking a chance on losing $600,000.
But you got another 170 coming right behind this one.
For $170,000, I wasn't taking a chance to lose $600,000 either.
And I have explained, when they did nothing, when they were absolute nothing organization, it was bad that we're giving them all that money. But now they're actively working against Loudon County's interests. That's a whole different matter, but we're gonna take that up come
What's
budget.
the pay split on that?
We're paying 68%, Aaron, we pay 170. Lenore City pays,
I don't have.
The county pays almost 70%.
yeah,
68%.
we're the biggest part, and then the two cities, actually Loudon pays more than Lenore City does
Have the
under
least
the
say.
interlocal agreement. It's the most absurd thing you've ever heard. And I don't want to tie us up, because like I said, when I figured to hit this real good when we have our budget presentation to kind of tell you what and I've been very open. We absolutely, in 2020, we got an Attorney General opinion through Randy McNally's office, and the Attorney General says, yep, you can lose all, not just some, all of your state grants if you don't give them any amount they ask for. That's what it says. Now, you tell me that's not a cooked up deal, I don't know what you do. Anyhow, moving right along.
Okay.
Do you want
Moving.
to know the percentages?
A lot
If you've
to
already
it.
started digging, I mean, but
Don't we got the committee?
it's not that big a deal. We can get to that later.
Well, I mean, if you guys want to know and I have the information, I'm more than happy to pull
No,
it out.
we're good.
and let you
70-30 split.
Well, you have
The two cities and the committee of 100,
They give like $4,000 or something.
Right.
Maybe 100 pays
yeah,
that.
they pay.
But they're not even included in the interlocal agreement. It's almost just a separate contribution.
So Loudon County is 68.9%, City of Loudon is 15.3%, City of Lenore City is 13.9%, and Lenore City Committee of 100 is 1.9%. I can't remember the total amount of what the current request is, I mean,
solid.
including all the percentages, but those are the percentages that, okay.
Okay,
What do you think of?
I said, okay,
I mean, after that.
moving right along.
Okay, so then there were amendments in Fund 115, these were line adjustments within individual departments, which means it's just a little bit of moving around. And that's in libraries. Convenience Center, there was, a revenue adjustment for audit. The part-time line was over, so that's coming from his fund balance. And there was adjustments for the litter grant, just movement to line up the budget with what the grant actually says. In the ARPA fund, It was the adjustments for the ARPA request that I said earlier. There was also a request to amend the ARPA resolution for Mr. Satterfield to remove his 500,000 to be contributed to task for the water pump, project, so that will be amended. In the highway department, there was adjustments for trade-in vehicles. The overall effect was $26,000 coming from his, I think he moved some money from another line to cover that. He had to increase his trustees commission. There was adjustments for current year insurances, just movement within the budget. And then there was amendments in general purpose schools, school federal projects. There was amendments in rural school debt to allow for the cost of the termination of the swap, which maybe you remember, maybe not. That was many meetings ago. There was amendments in general capital projects for the trade-in vehicles, but that was approved through capital projects early on. But then the increase for the county office building. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Aaron.
Can I ask you something while you're going through, and that food grant that we had, did we get anything back from that? I know the Good Samaritan Center applied for it. I think they were the only people in Loudon County that applied.
I think that you were the only commissioner that actually reached out and asked with specific people.
Right.
I haven't heard anything
Okay.
since then, but I don't mind to reach out to
Okay,
Stacy, the
I
other
just
commissioner.
happened to think about it while we're sitting here.
That was for, like, freezers.
Yes.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
They'll be on
Hang
the
on.
June 5th, hold on.
We're not
They'll
even
be on
done.
the June 5th
Trying to make us.
commission meeting, all your recommendations. Any further?
Jim Jenkins brought these out. One of them is the actual growth plan that was adopted back in the mid-nineties.
1990.
99 was it? Well,
Yeah,
anyhow,
99,
99. It was never, ever adopted. That would be the 20-year land use plan. That was never been adopted by any commission ever. The other one is the current urban growth plan that was adopted in 2000. And what Jim said, he just wanted everybody to kind of have these, so if you had a question about your area, you can kind of compare to what was adopted or what was proposed in 1999 relative to what it looks like today. So I'm not sure exactly why he wanted to have them, but he wanted to have them, so that's why.
Okay, and you have them. Any further? Entertain a motion to adjourn.
You can't make a motion, but I say let's adjourn.
It's adjourned.
We're done.
We're done.